money was not taught in school, and most of us are literally just figuring this out through trial and error, including myself, okay? So in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 9 money lessons that I've learned in my 38 years of living, okay? These are the things that have changed how I save, how I spend, how I invest. So if you have ever felt behind, you feel like you're still trying to play catch up, you're doing good, but you want to do better, then consider this your money reset. It is April. It is Financial Literacy Month, and I'm here to help you get it together, baby. So if you are new here, my name is Jocelyn, and I'm a money coach that teaches women how to invest their first $100 in the stock market and grow their money with clarity, confidence, and education. So let's get into these 9 money lessons that I learned that I hope you learn from as well. So the first one is that you are likely spending more money than you think, baby. And if you are not tracking your money, you're definitely spending more money than you think. And I want you to start tracking your money, not to judge yourself and not to feel embarrassed on the things that you shouldn't have bought, but to understand your habits, understand when you have those weak moments, understand when you have those high moments, And if you are like, okay, yeah, I need to track my money, what should I use? Use a spending plan template. I have a free spending plan template that is linked in the description. Don't tell me you can't do it, because you can do it. All it takes is 60 minutes out of every single month. Okay? Get serious about tracking your money so you'll understand where your money is going and where you have some money leaks. Money leaking in places it don't need to be. Okay? It helps you identify your habits. Number 2 is to protect your credit score and keep your credit utilization under 30% of your total available limit. We all have limits. Maybe it could be $5,000, $10,000. The goal is not to spend all of that, because if you do, it impacts your credit score. Credit utilization is not talked about enough, but the goal is to keep your utilization, okay, under 30%. So if your balance or your available amount is $10,000, spend 30% of that, okay? So no more than $3,000, maybe $3,500, okay? Get serious about that and see how your credit score increases. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. I did it for myself. Number 3 is to pay off your high interest debt, y'all. Now, this is not including mortgages and student loans, though I want you to be paying those off too, but I understand that's a long game. But these car notes, okay, these medical expenses, these credit cards, it's eating up the money that you should be using to do other things like travel, to save, to invest, One of the best decisions that I made as I was turning 30 was to pay off my debt. I paid off $80,000 in debt. That was inclusive of student loans, my car note. I had some credit card debt, baby. It was not a good look. It wasn't glamorous. I actually hated the whole experience, but it was the setup that I needed to make the real wealth moves that I made in my 30s. I bought a home. I'm investing. I have a $250,000 investment portfolio. I have 6 months worth of saving expenses, but I needed to get rid of that debt to free up money to do the things that I'm doing now. And as someone who's living on her savings, I'm so grateful that I got serious about paying off that debt and got serious about saving. A lot of us aren't serious enough because we think we'll never get let go. As someone who's been laid off from her job twice, I'm currently in the middle of my second layoff. Do not play with your paycheck, okay? That ain't even a part of my list, but don't play with it, okay? The 4th thing I want you to get serious about is investing earlier. Even when it feels uncomfortable to be investing, the sooner you start investing, the sooner you can shorten your work life, okay? Time in the market beats timing the market. A lot of us feel like, okay, I want to wait till the stock market crashes or when things are at a discount. No, ma'am. You need to be investing when you get that first big girl job, okay? When I say big girl, I mean a job that's offering a 401k, okay? If you making a salary, you need to be investing. Investing in that company 401k is a great place to start. Investing up to the match, which means that usually if a company says you can invest 6% of your annual salary, they'll match 3% of that. So if that means that's $1,000, they'll put in $500, for example. That's just a simple example, but that's what I mean by investing up to the match. That is free money. Even when you leave the company, I just literally rolled over my former company's 401k into my brokerage account so I can see most of my accounts in one space. I still have a few others that I need to roll over. But yes, please, y'all, get serious about investing. I'm telling you, even small amounts. And don't just stick with that 401k, which leads me to the 5th point, which is to contribute to your employer match. I actually went over that already. Contribute to match. Contribute enough to get the match. Okay, we already talked about that. I won't repeat it. But the 6th tip is to not rely on just your 401k for your retirement, because there's only so much money you can contribute to that. I know that it's the most well-known retirement account, but there are so many other accounts out there. And one of my favorites is a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA stands for a Roth Individual Retirement Account. there are two types of IRAs. There's a Roth IRA, which allows your money to grow tax-free, which means that any growth happening in that account, any dividends that are getting paid to you from these companies, all of that money is growing tax-free. Now, you don't get access to it till 59 and a half, but I did just highlight a video, my most recent video, I highlighted how you can get access to, you know, your contributions. I'm gonna pop that up on the screen so you can watch it. But we want this tax-free growth. So imagine if you started at 20, y'all, in your 20s, and you don't touch the money until 59, you gonna have a big bag, and you could take that money out and live on it tax-free. You ain't gotta pay nothing on it, okay? But again, you gotta leave the money alone till 59 and a half. But again, do not rely just on your 401ks, okay? And if you're like, okay, a Roth IRA sounds good. You know, I like the idea of that. I know that I have a couple of $100 maybe in my savings, or maybe I just know that I need to start investing and I never started. Then sign up for the wait list for the Invest Your First $100 workshop, y'all. It is my 3 simple step process of investing in what you need to invest in, why you need to invest, and how to invest, and where to invest. Because again, a Roth IRA is a sleeper account that I don't hear no people talking about. I hear the 401ks, the 403bs, the brokerage accounts like the Robinhoods and the Acorns, but man, the Roth IRA is a missed opportunity, especially because it's tax-free growth. So the sooner you start investing, the sooner you leave that money alone and create your own retirement plan, the sooner you can stop working, okay? Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I know. I love my Roth IRA. I've gained so much from that account, you know? And again, I teach you in my workshop my step-by-step process of getting that clear starting point, knowing what to invest in, where to invest, why it matters, so that you're not overthinking it. You're not wondering, what if I choose wrong? You're not wondering, you know, is this a good investment? No, you're going to know how to research. You're going to be able to look at my account, ask me questions. You'll see where I went wrong, where I gained, so that you don't make the same mistakes, but you also get the same growth that I got. So again, the wait list for that is in the description. My next one is in May, so make sure you're on the list. And if you sign up on the list, then you'll get an early access discount when the doors open. The 7th tip is to live below your means. Whew, that was a hard one for me. When I tell you, my 20s were full of YOLO. You only live once. My 20s were full of FOMO, fear of missing out. So what did I do? I was everywhere. I was everywhere with everybody. I was at happy hour. I was at brunch. I was at lunch. I used to do lunch dates, baby. Well, if it's a date, then I'm not paying. But I used to go to New York every other weekend. I went down to Atlanta. I'm in Barbados. I'm in Jamaica. Like, it was very much lifestyle inflation, baby. And I was not investing in anything outside of my 401k back then, when I really wish. That was one thing I wish I could go back and do, and that is invest earlier. Like, I would have invested with my first big girl job. I don't care that it lowers the amount of money that I live on. I literally just highlighted that we need to be living below our means. And as someone who has currently been laid off for the second time, I have mastered living below my means, okay? A lot has happened between my first big girl job and now, okay? I'm 38. I'm a homeowner. I have an investment portfolio worth $250,000. I have 6 months worth of saving expenses that I'm currently living on because I'm not working, but I still live a good life. I still travel. I still enjoy hanging out with the girlies. You know, I still go on my little solo dates. Like, I still live a good life, but I plan my dollars to the T. Do I have moments where I spend and I'm not thinking about it? Sure, I'm human. But 80% of the decisions that I make with my money are planned, or they already were considered and already saved for. You know, I'll give you an example. Even though I'm laid off, baby, I'm spending a lot of time at home these days, and I love my home, but I also love concerts. I love live music. So 2 examples of how I'm able to be strategic with still enjoying my life, though I don't have any income coming in, is number 1, I'm a huge fan of like free events. So here in Houston where I live, there is something called Jazzy Sundays in the Park. Hopefully ain't a lot of people from Houston watching this, so I won't try to ruin it. But it's a free concert every single Sunday in the springtime, and they often highlight, you know, just different jazz artists, and it's always a good time. You can bring your own food, bring you a little lawn chair, bring you a little blanket, and I literally just sent it to my homegirls today because we also just love live music. Like, we love finding different things. And, you know, we're all in seasons of transition. You know, one person's getting ready to move. Another one's looking for a job like I am. So it's like we don't have extra disposable income, but we still want to enjoy our lives. And so we already are making plans to make sure we are in the door for that. It's outside. It's family friendly. It's free. It's only a couple of hours. Like, I'm very much looking forward to, like, we do this every single year at this point. And then the other thing is I'm a huge concert goer. So Ari Lennox is one of my favorite artists. She is coming to Houston. And I said, thank you, girl, because I ain't got no money to travel. And I got a ticket. And I got a ticket because I have something called a freedom fund. So a lot of people think of savings as something you save for an emergency, which should be a priority one, okay? I have 2 different savings accounts, and these are high yield savings accounts, which are accounts that pay you to save, essentially. And if you want to learn more about high yield savings accounts, I'll pop a video on the screen that walks you through how that differs from investing. And so I have 2 high yield savings accounts. One is for my emergency, so this is my OSHIT fund, you know, like OSHIT, I got laid off again. OSHIT, I have to replace my HVAC. OSHIT, my car broke down, you know. But then I also have another savings account, my high yield savings account, which is like a freedom fund. So again, I love to travel. I love concerts. I love experiences. Like me and the girls also talking about taking a perfume making class. So I can't do that yet, you know, but we're planning for that a little later in the year. And that's where that money will come from, because I don't want to commingle my money. I think commingling your money, which needs to be another tip here, that's one of the worst things you can do, baby. If you don't separate your money and give it intention, you're going to spend money that was supposed to be spent in other places. And so, again, live below your means. Structure your money in a way across multiple accounts where it makes sense. I have a whole accounts video I'll pop up on the screen as well, because a lot of us are just relying on our checking and savings accounts, and I was that girl for a very long time, but them accounts aren't doing nothing for you, baby, besides holding your money. If you want to grow your money, and you don't even have, growing your money doesn't even have to just be investing, you know. Again, I talk about high yield savings accounts, high yield CDs, I break it down, all of those on that video, so make sure you watch that one next, okay? Make sure you watch that one next. I'm going to say this again at the end of that video so it can pop up. But learn to live below your means, I'm telling you. My next tip is, again, to build your high yield savings account emergency fund. Don't just put it in your regular savings account at Bank of America and Wells Fargo, because they're not paying you nothing, okay? High yield savings accounts are not investing. That's something I want to debunk as well. A lot of people feel like, oh, I can only use that money, I can only use that account to invest. No, it's saving. It's a savings account. Operative word, saving. They're not investing your money at all in that account. That's different than investing in a Roth IRA, your 401k, you know, what you should be doing too. But the first step, if we're thinking hierarchy, the first step is to understand how your money is moving in your life, okay? That's why the spending plan is free and it's linked in the description. The second step is to get your savings together, okay? Start saving consistently. Put a percentage of every single check in this high yield savings account. You can have 2. I have 2, like I mentioned. You can have your emergency OSHIT fund, or you can have a moving fund, or you can have an experiences fund. You know, you can have as many funds as you want. I just have 2 for now because I don't have nothing major going on. And again, these are free accounts. They don't charge you, and the biggest benefit is that they pay you to save, y'all. They pay you in real dollars, not pennies like you getting at your savings account right now. It's free to open. There's no minimum balances, and I personally use Markets by Goldman Sachs. If you've been hearing me talk about high yield savings accounts over and over, you're like, girl, I already saw the video and I'm ready to open mine, just click the link in the description as well. I have a whole referral code that's going to get you some extra money back for opening that account. And then the last tip is to make decisions for your future you, okay? I think a lot of us, we grow up with money trauma. We grow up with just doing the best doing the best that we can with what we have. We may have grown up thinking money was scarce, you know, and those are all real things. For me, I grew up with a single parent, you know. My mom did the best that she could, but she always made it clear that, like, I want you to think big, and if you really want to do something, you have to just put your mind to it, but also put your money to it. And so over time, she's taught me a lot about real estate, and I've taught her a lot about investing in the stock market, you know? And so life for us has gotten better, but we've always made decisions based on the woman that we want to become, and not the woman that we were raised to be, or the woman that society wants us to be. So for me, my goal is to out-earn my salary. I have 2 businesses. One of them is already in motion, Maximize Money, the channel that you're watching. But I also have another business that I am slowly building. I haven't really formalized it yet. And I want both of those to be multi-6-figure businesses, you know? So even when I do go back to work, if I go back to work, I have income outside of my job, and that money is going straight into my savings, straight into my lifestyle living, and straight into my investments, because my goal is to not work at all, okay? So that's all. We have 15 minutes. Watch the next video that pops up on the screen.